Easy. Oh, damn. Joe Skeezy. Scarbeezy. Oh, Lord. Shout out to Donald Trump, man. Now everybody act like they like Trump. Watch people start, well, I like Trump. That's why I always liked Trump. Because he keeps it real. Nah, too late now. Don't jump on the bandwagon now. You late. Keep hating. Because this young lady, death would have been a mystery. Nobody was talking about this young lady. Everybody was talking about people who got fondled and people who were made to feel uncomfortable. And this person made me feel uncomfortable. This person pinched my butt, which is all terrible stuff, don't get me wrong, in the workplace. Oh, Trump, talked about grabbing women by the vaginas and all these guys going down left and right. Matt Lauer. Hey, Matt Lauer, you should thank Donald Trump. If somebody gonna thank Donald Trump, it need to be you, Matt Lauer. You should thank Donald Trump. Because we not talking about you no more. Whoo! God, dog. Many of us have known about the case of Lloyd Klaus Eustace for a while. She was interning for Joe Scarborough during the time of her death. There are unverified rumors surrounding her death that she and Joe had been having an affair and that she was pregnant at the time of her death. Well, she was an intern. It was 2001. Of course, he was sleeping with her. She was apparently in great shape, an 8K1 runner. You know, she was in great shape, young. You know, he's sleeping with the girl. Think about this. He's sleeping with the woman he does the show with now, Mika, whatever her name is. He's sleeping with her. The woman who he does the show with now, he's sleeping with her. Hello. Okay? So yeah, of course I could believe that he was sleeping with his intern. He's sleeping with the woman who he's doing the show with now, Mika Brzezinski. Okay? I have included some very detailed news articles regarding the facts of the cover-up associated with this. See below. Okay. So this person gives us some... Oh, Lord. Oh, man. Police arrested former medical examiner Michael Birkland on Friday for allegedly keeping crudely preserved human remains in a rented storage unit in Florida last month. Birkland, 57, was charged with improper storage of hazardous waste, keeping a public nuisance, and driving with a suspended license. He was released on $10,000 bail. State Attorney Bill Eddins said more charges may be filed. Birkland's attorney, Eric Stevenson, reportedly said that Birkland will start preparing for his defense next weekend. Crudely preserved brains, hearts, lungs, and other organs and specimens were discovered in more than 100 containers last month in a Pensacola storage unit that Birkland rented for about 3 years. God. So he was into that. Let's see where this comes up with her. Okay. Birkland worked at the District 1 Medical Examiner's Office in Pensacola from 1997. He was fired in 2003 for not completing autopsy reports. Birkland's license to serve as a medical examiner in Florida was also withdrawn. Yeah, dog. His doctor's license was revoked in Jackson County, Missouri, in a dispute over his caseload and autopsy reports. God. So this is the guy who did the autopsy on that girl, that Joe Scarborough, that came up missing in Joe Scarborough's office. Now the girl died in Joe Scarborough's office. Okay? So this isn't like Gary Condit, where, you know, the girl, I forgot her name. This was in DC. I can't believe I forgot that name. Gary Condit killed that girl, and they found her in Rock Creek Park. No, this girl died in Joe Scarborough's office. Oh my God. Yeah, this is the girl he's sleeping with now. He says Trump. Now Joe Scarborough is saying people told him Trump had dementia. So listen to this. All through the campaign and through his whole first year in office, you knew the president had dementia. The president of the United States, as a journalist, inside people told you that the president of the United States, with the nuclear codes, can send our young men to war, can raise our taxes, could do whatever he wants. You knew this man had dementia. You ain't mentioned it. He tells the world that your intern, your lovely young intern, was found dead in your office. The autopsy was, she had blunt force trauma to her head. The autopsy said she died of a heart attack. She had just run an 8-kilometer marathon the day before. A week before. She was young. You were sleeping with her, having an affair with her. She died in your office. The autopsy said she died of a heart attack when there was blunt force trauma to her head. You resigned from your office 2 months later. Now, you decide to tell the world. Joe Scarborough, listen, if anything, you need to be fired from MSNBC because you had information that the president of the United States, sources told you that the president because you telling us now. This ain't like, well, I couldn't say anything. Well, you're telling us now. What you mean? Well, I couldn't give up. No, you're telling us now. So I don't want to hear about you didn't want to give up your sources because you're telling us now. If you couldn't give up your sources then, you can't give up your sources now. You're telling us now. So you had information that the president of the United States was senile, had dementia, a man who could send our young men off to war, a man who can raise our taxes, a man who can pass legislation that'll affect us for decades to come. And you didn't say anything. As a reputable journalist at a major, and then they say it's no such thing as fake news. Let's just say Joe Scarborough's for telling the truth. Because I'll play your game. You want to play games? Because, he didn't think nobody... We see, this the thing about us over here. We gonna play your game and still beat you. Okay? We can play your game and still beat you. Let's play your game. Okay, Joe. The president, you knew the president was senile since before the election. Cool. I believe you, Joe. Yup. Wouldn't that have been some great information to give to the public before we went to them voting, before we went and voted? Okay? Because a lot of us voted for Trump. And we might not have voted for him if you had, told us that he was fucking senile and had dementia. Thanks a lot, Joe. You're telling us now that back then people told you had dementia. A guy who was running for president. Everybody, it was everything about Hillary's health leaked. Remember? Hillary's health. Oh, she fell down the steps. Oh, she's stumbling. Oh, she's woozy. She's not fit for office because of her health. All that stuff was on the table. Okay? So you didn't tell us this. Thanks a lot, Joe. Because there's a lot of people here who, if they had known a potential man that was going to be president had dementia, they wouldn't have voted for him. So you're a trusted journalist, trusted news anchor, and you just sat on the information. You should have never told us this, Joe. You should have died with that. Just like that lady, that girl who died in your damn office. Just like that pretty young intern that you were sleeping with who had blunt force trauma to her head and died in your office. And then that crazy coroner fudged the autopsy. And I didn't even read all the I didn't even read all that whole autopsy report. Just in case y'all want to go ahead and read that, I'm gonna give y'all this the link again. Shit. Liberty Vibe. So this is Liberty Vibe, and the link to this to hear about this damn. Oh my God. Okay, CBS News. Damn, I thought this was like some. This is CBS News talking about this. Yikes. Okay. Shit. Damn, Scarborough. Joe Scarborough. Lori Klausutis. The autopsy of Lori Klausutis makes no reference to a time of death. That raises new questions about an investigation that started when the 28-year-old woman's body was found in the office of then U.S. Representative Joe Scarborough in summer of 2001. Accidental death was the official finding in the Klausutis case. I don't know how to say this lady's name. Klausutis case. I'm just gonna call her Lori K. Okay? With a cardiac arrhythmia causing her to fall and hit her head on a desk. So Joe, y'all were having sex and you was getting a little too rough and she hit her head. And then you panicked. Okay, look, Joe, it could have happened, man. You might not have meant to kill this girl, but the cover-up is worse than the crime. See, Joe, that's the thing. You may not. I don't know what happened. Joe was getting it in. Okay, he was giving her the business. You know, he was really laying into her. You know, he was giving it to her. He was really blowing that back out. Okay, that's what happened. Like I tell him, shit. Joe was blowing her back out, and she hit her head. Boom. And he panicked and covered it up. See, Joe, you might not even have killed her. That girl might have died, but you was having an affair with your intern, so you couldn't tell nobody that. Okay. Accidental death was the official finding. Okay. But the recent discovery of human remains at the storage unit in Pensacola, Florida, cast doubts on that ruling. That's because the storage unit was rented by Michael Berkman, the man who conducted the Klausutis autopsy 11 years earlier. All right, Berkman now. Okay, so we know what he was about. You can go check that article out on Liberty Vibe. Oh my God. Damn. So there's no time of death. So he didn't produce. So she was wearing a white thong on the day of her death. So she had on her She had on her fucking panties. Her good shit. Okay. Oh, and she shaved. So she was, yeah. Dan, there's no doubt that the head injury is as a result of a fall rather than a blow being delivered to the head by a moving object. Lori has classic countercoup injury or bruise to the brain, meaning that her brain was bruised on the opposite side of where the external force was applied. So she could have been, like I said, he could have been doing some strange sexual move stuff, or he could have pushed her. The left side of Lori's brain was bruised, while the external abraded contusion, scratch, and bruise was on the right temple region. The countercoup contusion results when a freely moving mobile head strikes an unyielding firm object in a fall, as in the floor or in the case of a desk. This finding is in marked distinction from the coup contusion or that injury which results from a moving object, example, a baseball bat that strikes a stationary head. In the coup injury, there is bruising of the brain on the same side of the external injury. There was no coup contusion in Lori Kloster's. Look, we don't know that. First of all, this guy's so shady. I didn't even read all the shit. I couldn't. He got brains and all types of stuff in storage. Oh my God, he been in 2 different counties. He got in trouble being a coroner. What would cause a seemingly healthy young woman, an avid runner, to collapse and lose consciousness, unable to break or fall? Birkeland rules out some of the common causes of such an event: a pulmonary embolus, a brain hemorrhage, a ruptured aneurysm, drug issues. He concludes, these facts leave only a cardiac arrhythmia as the reason to go unconscious and subsequently fall. Okay, we'll take your word. So what was she doing in his office to have cardiac arrhythmia? For her heart to be moving that fast. They was in there screwing. If Lori's heart was normal, it would be problematic to postulate a plausible reason. See, we can take their side, and Joe's still in deep shit. But imagine if you one of those people that don't play his game. See, I'm playing his game with his crooked corner and his shady behind. I'm playing his game, and he's still in deep shit. Imagine the people that ain't even playing his game. Damn. Damn. So she was married. Look. Listen, I don't know who killed this girl. All I know is she died in Joe's office. Okay? Whew. Look, Joe, it's at least worth an investigation. I'm playing your game. I'm saying I'm going by everything you say and it's true, Joe. Your story, I'm believing everything you say, and it's still you in deep shit. Damn, Joe. Yeah, this the woman he's sleeping. God. All right, y'all, man. Peace, man. Get in the comment section.